Welcome to Dakota Discusses. Today I'll be reacting to some scary, creepy, and/or paranormal videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Oh, put your hands in there.
2 seconds won't do anything.
Get him, get him, get him, get him!
It snatched his butt right off the boat. This is why you should listen, everybody.
Oh my god, the lioness was drinking water when she was bitten by an incredibly venomous black mamba snake. To ease the pain of the venom, she stands motionless. For her, it's the only way to fight the venom. She's in great pain and her whole body is tense. She doesn't want to die like this, after all. She has a newborn cub to care for, but the venom has spread throughout her body with her blood. Her body falls to the ground again and again. From this, we can see how terrible the snake venom is. Even the king of the grassland can't bear the poison of the snake venom. The lioness opened her mouth in pain, shaking her head to calm herself down. At that moment, her companion came to see her with her baby. When the lioness heard the sound, she closed her mouth and didn't move. Her companion looks at the lioness and worries. After all, it's hard to resist a snake bite. A group of cubs watched their mom from afar, and they obediently crouched on the ground. But the poisoned mother lioness never turned her head. The companion was helpless and left with her cubs. The mother lioness is left to her own devices.
That was just sad. You could physically see the pain.
Why do you think it's gonna bubble? Because it bubbles when you put it on blood.
No, it bubbles when you put it on earwax.
It does?
Yep.
Ah, shit, that's cold.
No, see, yeah, it came out. I told you.
What came out?
It's a fucking spider.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
It's
look.
a spider? Oh my god! Oh!
I told you that would come out. That's disgusting. Oh my Jesus.
What are you like?
That's disgusting.
Oh my
Shit, let go of me. What if you have more bugs? I told you that would work.
The caption's right. I would have ripped my head off too. That's crazy. And to think about all the electronics were around all the time. I'm good.
There's a video on the internet that's got everyone talking. It was shared by a Reddit user named no_adagio 6743. A lot of people online are discussing and wondering if it's showing something real or if it might be just a trick. The video begins with what looks like a regular day out on a boat. Someone is using their phone to film the water and the surroundings in Ontario, Canada. It seems like a regular, fun day on the boat. But as the video continues, things take a surprising turn, and what happens next has left everyone guessing. Watch this.
I think I know that guy. I think I dated him in high school. Probably why I like girls now.
Our wall, you would see these shelves that had things like paint cans and screwdrivers and other tools you would expect to find in a basement. But if you walked over to the left side of the shelving, there was a lock on the back of it that if you undid it, the shelf itself would swing out like a door, and then behind it on the wall would reveal a 3-foot tall secret door. This secret door was also locked, but not by a key lock. Instead, it was locked by a keypad lock that only Joseph had the code to. And since Joseph was an electrical engineer, he took great care in ensuring this lock never could be tampered with or destroyed. That thing was going to stay locked unless he unlocked it. When Joseph entered his code into the keypad, he could open that secret door and it would reveal this secret underground prison that was basically a winding maze of small rooms with ceilings that were too short to be able to stand up all the way in. If you walked through the secret door and actually entered into this prison, you would start by entering this soundproof narrow hallway that went on for several feet before it entered into this very small bathroom area where the bathroom was unbelievably cramped and there was no doors, there was no privacy. And then if you didn't stop in the bathroom and you just kept walking straight through that first hallway, you would reach another hallway that was totally soundproof and narrow, and at the end of that hallway, it would feed into a very small bedroom that was so small that it barely contained the one bed that was inside of it, and then off to the right side of that bedroom was another door that led into a similarly sized bedroom. All of the walls of this underground prison were made of thick, reinforced concrete. That, combined with the soundproofing that Joseph had installed throughout the entire prison, meant no one could hear Elizabeth's cries for help. Also, the inside of the prison was heavily monitored by Joseph's security system, so truly, Elizabeth had absolutely no privacy. She was completely trapped, and the only way she was getting out was if her father freed her. For the first 5 years of her imprisonment, she remained in that dungeon all alone. Her only connection to the outside world was her father, who would come down almost every night to drop off basic supplies and to assault her.
There are some real crazy people, but that just goes to show
This
humans
footage
are
right
monsters
here
too.
Literally is the reason I never ever want to leave my house again. Me and my husband don't really get out much together, so we hired a babysitter and went out to dinner. And my phone had an alert, and this is what we saw on the doorbell. We called our babysitter and told her to go into the master bedroom and lock herself in the bathroom. Told her basically nothing's wrong, just a precaution. And we left the restaurant and came right home. But on the way home, of course, I'm watching this. God, I don't know what was said. The whole video recorded as white noise. But clearly she has something in her hands and it looks like a baby. And there's a storm outside. I don't know what her intentions were until we saw what she did at the end. But before that, she's just staring up into the sky. There was no rain. It was just thunder and lightning, constant. I had the babysitter on speakerphone on the way home while I'm watching this happen. We try to reassure her and let her know that the police are on their way. It won't be too long. What I saw next made my heart drop. The thing we can see her holding here that looks like a baby was a doll. She must have been using it as a prop to get into people's houses.
My comment beforehand still stands. Sometimes, people are more monstrous than actual animals.
This is said to be the scariest video on the internet. It's of a possessed lady walking up the side of a building.
I am never going outside again, unless it's to church.
Too scared to open my door.
The reason I had to move out of my flat. I was home alone.
Gabe? Gabe? It's your mom. You should come out. You've been there for so long. Gabe? Come out. Gabe? Gabe, it's your mother. She come out.
Then what's your name then?
Bruh, why are you still in the house though?
These are videos you can never watch at night. We all know how there's some videos where you just can't watch them at night because they're that scary. Well, in series, I'll be showing you all of those videos. So, be ready to get terrified.
Who are you? Huh? What? What's wrong with you? Did what?
Well, I know I'm not sleeping after watching that video. This video has been going viral recently, and nobody knows the origins of it. It shows what appears to be a ghostly woman standing outside of some man's window at night, and she says something took her daughter and did this to her, but nobody knows what that is. The man who uploaded the video hasn't updated anybody on if you've seen her again, or if he's okay, leaving people to worry about him. But I can't imagine looking out my window at night and seeing this.
That would be creepy, but it could also be really good makeup.
Creepy videos found on the internet.
Right there this time. Hello? Hey, no. No, stay there. Hey. Oh my God. It's okay. It's okay. Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing. Holy hell. Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you. Leave my lights alone.
The way the dog was reacting, I'd be scared out of my mind. There's no other answer to that.
I got a couple real strange sea creature videos, me boojkies. 2 of them, back to back. This one is some kind of monster. The other is even freakier. Now this thing's weirder than the first one. I don't know the size of it. It could be the size of a baseball or the size of a planet. But either way, this thing would freak me out if it was in my bathtub. What do you think of these sea creatures, me boochkies? Let me know in the comments section. Shabadoo!
I don't know exactly what the first one is, but if that's a snake, that would only be like half of it, which means that would be a really big snake.
Here it comes. There it is, Billy. I see it up here. Dude, yep, go.
They love ground cave, but we are in the middle.
Dang! Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look up there.
That's crazy. That tornado destroyed everything.
Do you know all the scary things that have been happening at the Euphrates River?
What's going on there?
Okay, so the Euphrates River is actually located in the Middle East, and it's considered one of the longest rivers in the world, but it's actually drying up. Like, it's almost completely dry. But where the river's drying up, they're actually finding caves and different structures that have been under the river this entire time. But it's actually really scary that they're finding this.
I don't get what's so scary about that.
So what's crazy is the drying up of the Euphrates River is actually written in the Bible. And in the book of Revelations chapter 9:14 through 9:15, it says, "Release the 4 angels bound to the great river Euphrates." And then it says the angels were released to kill 1/3 of all mankind.
So what you're saying is when the river dries up, it's basically the end of the world.
Yeah, and just to put that number in perspective, 1/3 of the world is 2.6 billion people. And it's just super weird that they're finding all these caves under the Euphrates River.
I don't know how much I believe of this, but I do think something big and bad is on the horizon. A glitch in the Matrix or edited? Let me know down in the comments what you think.
Many of you are asking me once again how such photographs could have possibly been taken, questioning the year, how they were able to hold still for the photos, as well as the means of their capture. To start, all of these photos were taken within the walls of St. George's Keep, a perilous dungeon of monsters run by the Sons of Man, a secret Catholic order dating back to the Crusades. These beasts were all locked in place either by conventional chains or some by magic binding sigils to hold them. Now, while 19th century camera equipment was primitive by today's means, by the mid to late 1800s, it was very possible to take a photo in just a couple seconds. And of course, the vast wealth and power of the Catholic Church afforded them technology undreamed to others even during the era, leaving only the question of these monsters' capture. The answer lying in the Paladin Order of Charlemagne, a 1,000-year brotherhood that stood until the late 1800s. Magically imbued, superpowered knights dating back to the Holy Roman Empire. These wholly empowered super warriors were able to capture the various monstrosities and bring them to the keep for study. My ancestor Harold Oldry, a hunter of the Sons of Man, collected these photographs into an album and kept it, passing it down through various generations of the family, as well as some of their supernatural allies, until it eventually found its way to me, and by extension all of you.
That just makes me want to be a vampire and fight monsters.
A research team back in June retrieved the remnants of an object at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. And tonight, their analysis suggests that the tiny metal spheres are like nothing we've seen on Earth or within our solar system.
There's an ongoing debate whether these remains that have been found at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean by Avi Loeb are naturally occurring or extraterrestrial in origin. But here's what we do know. This is the first time scientists have been able to retrieve and actually study materials that came from outside our solar system. Using state-of-the-art technology at Harvard University, they've been able to determine there are elements inside these spherules like beryllium, lanthanum, and uranium at concentrations hundreds of times greater than what we've seen in our own solar system. Now, because of the unique properties of the object, there's speculation that it could have been technologically created, something similar to a Voyager-like probe. Now, before that can be proven, Avi Loeb, along with the Galileo project, will be returning to the Pacific Ocean to hopefully recover a larger piece of this object. Understandably, a lot of scientists were skeptical of Avi Loeb's belief that this was an interstellar object, but so far this seems to prove his hypothesis. Now, whether or not you believe this is extraterrestrial technology, Avi Loeb makes a great point that getting information from the bottom of the Pacific Ocean seems to be easier than getting information from politicians in DC.
Honestly, it really doesn't surprise me that things fall out of space and into our ocean.
These are the scariest moments captured on live streams, part 3. Okay, so this streamer named Rubsy captured paranormal activity live on his stream. And it's absolutely terrifying. Just imagine living alone and this happens to you. There's something about stuff like this that's just insanely creepy.
Dude, the light, you just turned it off and it went back on?
Honestly, I would see why that would be absolutely terrifying.
All right, so what's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. All right, this I want to see. Let's take a look at that. It was taken by NASA, and it caused some immediate concern amongst the environmental community. All right, first blush, it looks like a giant oil spill, right? That was the fear, yeah. You know, there's a lot of offshore drilling along the Brazilian coast. Fortunately, though, it turned out to be a swarm of microbes known as Marionecta rubra, and they're not hazardous to marine life. Why was this brought to your attention then? Well, during the initial investigation, the agent who was studying the swarm noticed something out in the water. Okay, kind of a speck. Yeah, well, at this resolution, it's a speck. When they zoomed in, though, they got this. It's a little fuzzy, but I'd say that's a shark. And not just any shark. If you look at this other satellite photo I brought, it was taken at the same resolution of a school bus yard in nearby Sao Paulo. Now, those are 40-foot buses, and when you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark. All right, let's ask the obvious first question here. Do you really think that this is the same animal that was spotted 2 months earlier on the other side of the ocean at Cape Verde? Look, that's a 3,000-mile trip, and, you know, it sounds like a lot, but great whites have been tracked going 1,500 miles in a month, so for Megalodon, that would be nothing. Also, sharks are known to revisit old haunts. Great whites, for instance, have been tagged leaving the east coast of the U.S., going on a random winding trip through the North Atlantic, and then returning a year later, almost to the day, to the same spot that they were tagged. So similar behavior from Megalodon makes complete sense. If, indeed, this is Megalodon.
Honestly, I would see why that would be absolutely terrifying.
Hey y'all, Myra here. So take a look at this footage. This is coming out of Moorhead, Kentucky, off of a couple's security cam. They captured what looks to be some sort of unidentified creature. There have been theories abounded regarding it, from aliens to wendigos to ghosts. I don't know what this could be. It's definitely humanoid, and it seems to be naked. But I don't know exactly what this creature could be. Could it be that the veil is truly thinning and we are starting to see interdimensional beings or things that have been there the whole time that we've just never caught on camera and now we are?
I don't know exactly what that is, but in my opinion, I think it's a human, just in a costume or something. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments.
Seriously? Hands. Do not touch my ass. If I see your hands again, my husband will come back here and bust your f***ing
What's up, man? You like touching women?
I ain't touching
Like
bro.
assaulting women, bro?
I didn't touch them.
So put them hands on me, bro. What's good? Got you on tape, bro.
So police were called, they take the man away. I don't know if they arrested him or pressed charges, but police did get involved. But who wants this guy coming after you?
Let me check it. I don't want nobody sticking their fingers in me. Alright, we good.
New fear unlocked. Getting groped on planes.
It's that snatcher mix. You know you want it. Come get it. Come get it. I don't know what in the world you are, but we gonna get you out this water. Somebody let me know, what is this? It's half turtle, half, I don't know what the fish snatcher, boy. You moving too quick. Watch out there now. You like that chicken, don't you?
What the hell? What is that, Mom? Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit! What the hell is that?
What is happening?
I don't know what those last two were, but the first one is probably the most ugliest turtle I've ever seen. But I still want to pet it.
I got another one over here. What are those? What the fuck's going on? On each side of the boat? What are those trails? What's something swimming fast underneath that water? Something swimming real fast underneath that water. I hear him. Where's she at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's nuts.
Do I think this is mermaids or sirens? No. But it's still really creepy.
Here's some of the scariest things that have been caught on camera. Part 5. On the evening of July 21st, 2021, a doorbell camera at a Los Angeles home captured one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen. At around 8 p.m., the young woman at the house was preparing dinner while waiting for her husband to return home from work. It was a very hot day, so she decided to open the window and let the evening breeze in. This caught the attention of a man on the sidewalk, and as he looked at the young woman, he decided to try and get a little closer.
I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? I just have a couple questions for you.
He continuously repeats the same sentences as he rings the doorbell and knocks on the door, claiming to only have a few questions. The woman never responded to the man and claims she'd never seen him until that point. As he's walking away, her husband comes on the doorbell speaker asking who he is, and that's when he reveals his true intentions.
Are you sure?
Who are you? Hey, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about maybe fuel.
I want to rape her and kill her because I have a knife and a gun. Yeah, and I'm going to knock on her door again.
Thankfully, none of his fantasies played out as he walked away for good. Soon after, he was arrested a few blocks away, and when asked for his name, he claimed to be the Holy Spirit. It was later found that his real name was Christopher Sums, and a background check found that he had an impressive job history and was actually a normal person not too long ago. What caused this rapid change in appearance and personality is unknown, but the footage captured that night will continue to haunt the internet.
This is why I keep all my windows and doors locked. I don't know what that creature is, but I will never touch it. I never want to see it.
Yep.
That was definitely a fake jump scare, but it definitely did work on me.
And there's this object orbiting Earth. It's on NASA servers, estimated 15 tons. They won't mess with it because it makes no sense to mess with it. You don't know what type of self-defense system or mechanism this thing may have. It's estimated to be there for 13,000 years. And how we get this number is the NSA analyzed a signal from it. A couple of astrophysicists analyzed the signal, and some ham radio operators back in the 50s also got the same signal, all independent, came up with the same translation, decoding of the signal, that it was saying it was from the Epsilon Boötis constellation. Time magazine picked this up in 1960. Then I saw some reports of it following Sputnik, when Russians sent Sputnik to orbit the moon and come back. And I said, this thing has course correction. Then they discovered that it was in a polar orbit. It had changed course and went into a polar orbit, something we couldn't do until just recent times. In order to create a lot of the megalithic structures that you've seen, like the pyramid complexes and everything else, you need a polar orbit. But this thing has been orbiting in a polar orbit from the 1950s. So I looked into Epsilon Boötis. I'm like, well, let me research this place. Found out there's something called a void there. This void is called the Boötis void. Michio Kaku, the famous theoretical physicist, talking about it. And he said that in that void, it looks like light's being bent around that area. And he says that we think that it's potentially it could be a cloaked advanced civilization. The more I dug into it, I realized that the Black Knight satellite is this object that's still orbiting our planet right now. I think it's watching us, and I believe that it's using quantum entanglement to transmit everything in real time, what's going on Earth, back to home base at Boötis.
I don't know if y'all believe in that, but I do, and that's freaking crazy. Okay, that's a ghost. And if I saw that on my camera, I'd freak out.
Things caught on camera. In October 2020, TikToker It's Star and her friend Kelsey Davis came across a railway while walking across town. However, people claimed that near that place was a path that led to the gates of hell. What Chris and Kelsey found will shock you instead. Take a look.
Guys, we just found the craziest thing right now. We are at the gates of hell.
I cannot believe what we just...
So we came up through there, and there's a dead chicken in a bag with feathers everywhere. The gates of hell are down there, and apparently people come here to worship the devil and do sacrifices. I have actually come across people while I...
Hit the plus sign to follow up on their story.
I can't believe they found that. I'd be absolutely scared out of my mind.
This very strange video is circling the internet. It was supposed to be this very strange phenomena happening in the middle of the ocean. A couple of people inside of a boat captured it on camera. I'm going to show you guys the entire video. Some people are relating this to underwater volcanoes, but I'm not exactly sure if this is the case. I'm going to show you guys the video. You tell me what you think is going on here. Check this out. Pay attention, look at the size of this thing. Look at this over here. What's going on here, guys? What is your take?
That's absolutely crazy. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that thing.
Next video was recorded by a security camera inside an apartment complex. Not much is known about this video, except that it came from this residential building where the little girl and her family reside. The video starts off with footage of the young girl playing by a staircase. Below the stairs is what appears to be a small room. The little girl can be seen staring at something inside the room, but nothing noticeable can be seen on footage. Or at least, that's what the child's parents initially thought. It was only after watching this video multiple times that the parents were left horrified. Something was actually captured inside this room. Take a look.
No, no, and no. If I saw that in my house, I'm moving very far away. The thought of living with someone and this happening is absolutely terrifying and creepy. Glad both of them are okay.
Hello. Hi. Happy Easter. Who are you? Everybody in the house, right? Good. You need to leave. How far? Out there. What's the stairs from? What? What's the stairs here? Come on, where are you going? What's the stairs here? Goodbye, you.
I'm glad they got him out of there. Who knows what would have happened if they didn't.
Accidentally unleashed an apex predator in Antarctica? On February 13th, 2021, a post popped up on a Google Earth thread appearing to show what looked like a giant spider in a Google Earth image of Antarctica. And a user with the name Son of Antanon showed up claiming to be the foremost expert on the subject, even going as far as to post these pictures of a commemorative plaque and wall clock proving that his father was indeed stationed as a medical doctor at McMurdo Base in Antarctica. If these videos about the paranormal, supernatural, secret, hidden history interest you, click the link in my bio and subscribe to my brand new YouTube channel. Antanon claims that for an 11-month period in the 90s, his father was the sole medical doctor at McMurdo Research Base in Antarctica. He would pretty regularly accompany scientists and armed soldiers on expeditions that would routinely take 5-mile detours around certain areas. And in certain instances, while taking these detours, he thought he could make out the outline of buildings in these areas. He said the site that they most regularly had to detour around was roughly 30 miles south and 10 miles east of his location, which is here. During this thread, one of the other Anons in the chat started doing some Google Earth snooping in that exact area and found this bizarre giant monolith with the bottom half blurred out. The doctor befriended a 10-year veteran of the site, and once they were a little bit closer, he asked him, "Hey, why do we avoid those areas?" But the doctor just went pale and told him to shut up and then reported him to his commanding officer. Since Antanon's dad was the only medical doctor on site, he was also the pathologist, so the person that takes care of the bodies. And he was becoming very suspicious because he really didn't think this would be as big of a part of his job as it ended up being. There were a lot of casualties and some really strange injuries, like fully severed limbs and bodies found in half. But conveniently, since the remains were almost always frozen, he was always instructed to list the cause of death as hypothermia. He did try to go about it the right way. He tried talking to people, but either they knew nothing or they would just clam up and report him, so he basically just started rifling through people's shit, which usually I'm against, but at this point I'm all for it. The dude's an absolute mad lad. And if you don't think this is the absolute perfect stock photo for this next segment, you're crazy and I don't care. So while he was rifling through the workstation of one of the higher level researchers, he found a drawer full of journals. And these journals were full of information about what Antanon would call striders. From what he could tell, these creatures were found while the researchers were taking bore samples, which is when they drill big chunks of the ice out. Of course, they thought these creatures were dead because they were surrounded by ice that was at least hundreds of thousands of years old. But of course, upon thawing them out, a couple of them animated and violently escaped and had since become a huge nuisance for anyone or anything operating within that area of the research base. Now, Antanon's dad would go on to discover a lot more about these spiders, and it kind of seems like they're just one of many entry points into why Antarctica is so secretive and important. So comment part 2 if this interests you.
There is so much crazy stuff happening in Antarctica. Like, what's new with that? I mean, come on. But I would like to see a part 2 for this because it is quite interesting. The first one definitely gave me a jump scare, but the second one edited, but still looked very creepy.
You don't see it at first, right? This photo comes out of Wisconsin State University. It's from 2012 and it was taken by Aaron Silva. What looks like just an abandoned hallway, if you look very close to the back left, you'll see it. The outline of a person who had been watching him from around the corner. For context, this was a very common tradition at this school. A lot of people would dare each other to go inside the abandoned infirmary that was just off campus. You go inside using just a flashlight and whoever stays in the longest eventually wins. But Aaron was never gonna make it out. After more than an hour had passed, his friends eventually became concerned and they go in looking for him, where they found him and described him as cut from the mouth down to the center of his chest. This was a hugely disturbing case for police, but they eventually do retrieve his phone and they zero in on this picture, a picture which they believe shows who might have done this to Aaron. And if you increase the brightness, you can see the outline even better.
Absolutely terrifying. Thankfully though, I'm too scared to go exploring anywhere abandoned by myself.
5 top secret facilities that you know about.
Well, everyone talks about Area 51. That's an old one. A more state-of-the-art one is actually in the Dugway Proving Grounds, which is in Utah.
I'm going to put a picture up of it right now.
That's a big one in Dugway. It's underground, goes out. It's about 1,300 square miles.
What's in there?
All this stuff. Technologies, the craft, operations. So what happened is that when he got to the site, there was about a 6x6 pod. And they pulled it up on the ship. And it wasn't the whole craft. The whole craft had gone down, but apparently there was some sort of one molded thing. And there were 4, I'm going to use his language, little men that looked like the color of a Sicilian, but 39 inches tall, no hair, and also no external ears, no pinna, flaps, very fine featured. But the reason he contacted me, and this is why this is so funny, I've debriefed over 1,000 men like this. He said, I can't figure out how they got in and out of their uniforms. So they had a one-piece uniform. Now, no zipper and no buttons and no visible way they could get them out of this thing. And he says, how do they put them on?
What I don't understand is, why do they do the same things that we think they're doing, except tell us they're doing it at this place, but yet they're doing it at another? It doesn't make sense to me. We already know what's going on. But it's okay. Our lovely government will tell us everything, right?
Did you know a human male skull is only $5,000? Welcome to What the Fuck Did I Find on the Internet Today. If you don't want a male skull, you can buy a female skull for $4,800. Alright, we're not getting into that. Yeah, but don't worry, if you look closely, you'll see ethnically sourced. Hey, comment down below and let me know how that one works. Mouse arm earrings. Yep, I'm done. I'm done with the internet today.
That's not scary, but it's truly creepy. That means people are actually selling skulls on the internet. I guess it's better than finding one yourself.
4 razor-sharp fangs and a projectile mouth called a proboscis. They are voracious predators and are as aggressive as they are bizarre. One of the most shocking things about these worms is how normal they can appear, and then in a split second, transform into one of the most alien-looking life forms you've ever seen. And as if this wasn't creepy enough, things get even worse. Once the bloodworm has its prey ensnared in those hooked jaws, it will inject it with a paralyzing venom that incapacitates the victim, so it can be digested and eaten alive. This venom is chemically similar to that of a scorpion and is known to cause severe reactions in humans, including burning, tissue damage, and anaphylactic shock. Please do not attempt what you're about to see. Oh, almost got it. Ah, missed it. Oh, come on. All right. Got it. Oh, wants to bite me. That is the proboscis of one of the biggest bloodworms I have ever seen.
That's so gross.
Y'all owe me an apology.
Y'all owe me an apology, restitution, reparation, all that, because the way y'all used to clown me for saying I was afraid of birds, I just feel like I should be compensated. When I used to say I was afraid of birds and y'all would come after me, this is what I meant. Not the cute chirping at 5 a.m., put feeders in your garden out for them birds. No, I'm talking about this blueberry flavored Jurassic jump scare velociturkey. That is a cassowary and it's widely considered the most dangerous bird in the world. All because a pair of claws that, I wasn't kidding, belong in Spielberg's prop room more than they do in the real world. Those claws can disembowel people and dogs with just one swing. And with a legitimate 7-foot vertical, they could dropkick you in the dome if you motivate them enough. Not to mention they can grow over 6 feet tall, could humble Olympic medalists at 30 miles per hour, and they can swim. Of course they can. Now in their defense, they're actually naturally shy and try to avoid people, but in their offense, if one presses you, good luck, Charlie. One man tried to take a picture of a cassowary and the high-strung assault chicken proceeded to kick him off a cliff. One man got put on his shirt after his pet cassowary attacked him, but then again, if you invite demon poultry into your house, you're the author of your own tragedy. And one hunter tried to smoke a cassowary only to get slashed in the neck and bleed to death. Moral of the story, my rational fear was not that irrational. If Animal Jesus in khakis wasn't messing with him, I want no part.
Could you imagine walking down the street and running into that? Making that noise? They can fight, they can swim. That's absolutely terrifying. But a high-strung assault chicken? Hilarious.
Langsung ini dan kesiakan ini. Dekat sini. Dekat sudah di dalam sini. Mantap. Ada tangannya. Lah ini. Hati-hati tuh.
This is truly terrifying. Apparently it was a crocodile, and there's a video of it online. But this makes you never want to swim again. Yikes.
On May 30th of 2016, a single-car accident had occurred on a Brazilian highway known as BR-262. The driver of this vehicle lost control of his wheel, causing him to veer off the road and crash his car. Unfortunately, he did not survive this accident. Upon hearing about this, a TV news crew was sent out to report this incident. They arrived on the scene and began to report, but after filming the incident and showing it to audiences, people noticed that something very strange appeared in the footage. The following is the video that was taken.
Parente das vítimas que seguia em outro veículo viu pelo retrovisor o momento em que a caminhonete capotou. A suspeita é que a motorista tenha tentado desviar de um animal que cruzou a pista.
Um local onde há muito mato em volta da rodovia.
We're gonna watch it again.
Upon zooming in, a face can be seen inside the car. It appears out of thin air and almost seems to be looking directly at the camera. Viewers believe that this may have been the ghost of the driver of this vehicle, while others think that this may have been something else entirely. But as always, I'll let you be the judge as to whether or not something supernatural was caught. What exactly was caught on camera?
That is a creepy looking creature, and I doubt a news station would fake something like this. I cannot debunk it.
1968, a group of women were at a picnic table near their lake house at Lake Michigan. They were playing cards together and having a good time when they were interrupted by an overbearing stench. It got so bad that the women began struggling to breathe, forcing them to cut their game short. They assumed a dead animal must have been nearby, and not knowing what else to do, they alerted their cabin's caretaker, Chauncey Bless. Chauncey headed out to those woods, but instead of finding a dead animal, he followed the stench to another cabin he oversaw around half a mile away. He forced himself through the horrible odor closer towards the front door, but he quickly realized something was wrong. He noticed holes in the glass of the windows. He glanced inside one of them and saw a woman's remains lying on the floor. Behind her, he got a glimpse of several others in the same manner. Horrified, Chauncey ran away and called the police. Police arrived at the scene, and a total of 6 bodies were discovered. It was every member of the Robeson family. No one had seen them in weeks, but the family had told others they were planning on a trip out of town, therefore no one questioned it. Police concluded that they had been killed at least a month earlier. Investigations into who could have done this didn't turn up much. There wasn't much evidence at the scene, and the family didn't have any known enemies. The most prominent suspect was an employee of Mr. Robeson, but this man would never be tried in court. Over 50 years later, it's still unknown who's responsible for the Robeson family murders.
Just goes to show the only thing more dangerous than monsters, aliens, and ghosts are actual people. Very tragic story, though.
Well, this sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but some here in Northeast Ohio insist they've seen unidentified flying objects here, saying we're even in a hot spot for sightings.
Okay, so science fiction or the real deal? What do you think? Recent study found a majority of Americans, about 56%, believe UFOs are real.
By your side, investigator Joe Paganakis introduces us to some local people who think they've captured something on their cameras from out of this world.
Catching the unexplained, the unidentified on video.
And I seen this light come out of like the lake.
Northeast Ohio UFO videographers sharing their images online.
There ain't no plane. No. Hey, everybody check this out. Hey, yo, come here, y'all. Look at this.
Raising questions and commentary from skeptics, believers, and the open-minded.
There's another one. There's a third one.
That we may not be alone.
What I saw, I can't explain.
Some don't try to define what they've recorded.
That's above my pay grade.
While others are sure what they captured with their camera.
Wait. Oh, do we have 3?
Is not from this world.
And there were 3 saucers above me, one on each point of an equilateral triangle.
Each of the UFO videographers we talked to say their sightings changed their lives.
Within 7 minutes or so, it disappeared. And then it came back.
But as you might guess, not all of their family and friends believe what is pictured here is an actual UFO.
So this actual activity has been going on over Lake Erie for a very long time.
Videos of UFOs shot by Michael Lee Hill, a native of Eastlake, have generated hundreds of thousands of views, even featured on the History Channel.
You can see this ball of light come down, and all of a sudden you can see its reflection on the lake.
These were orange, they were solid, nothing blinking, and no sound at all.
Just last year, Nate Ellis used his cell phone to capture this formation of unexplained lights hovering over his Cleveland home.
Trying to think of anything logical. Maybe it could be drones, maybe it could be flares or something like that. But again, the way they were moving, it was just a difference. And then they were in a formation.
I was amazed. I didn't know what to think.
Sam Phillips of Brooklyn captured one of Northeast Ohio's most talked about sightings over Key Tower in downtown Cleveland.
So what the hell is it?
During a peace vigil in March of 2007.
There it goes.
Dozens of people saw what appeared to be an unexplained object.
But I've never seen one like it. And the tape does not pick up the brightness.
I believe that this area in the outer Cleveland here is a hot spot.
Dale Harder with Cleveland's Ufology Project, one of the world's oldest UFO organizations, established in 1952, actually investigates sightings in this region of the United States. Harder says sighting statistics from the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, show Ohio in the top 5 for UFO reports. And while Harder believes some UFO sightings are legitimate, he also says growing camera technology is generating plenty of fakes.
Everybody's carrying a cell phone these days, and everybody's picking things up. Aside from those that like to perpetrate hoaxes, there is a lot of garbage out there, so you have to be careful.
Oh, I see this right there.
Meanwhile, Ellis takes a more practical approach to his video sighting. unwilling to even try to explain what he saw that night on the Cleveland skyline, only asking everyone to keep an open mind.
And I definitely look up. You never know, man. You can catch something. Who knows what you'll catch next time.
Reporting on the skies over Northeast Ohio, Joe Paganakis, News 5.
Well, the Cleveland Ufology Project holds its next meeting Saturday, May 18th. It's at the Tri-C West campus. That's in Parma. Starts at 7:30.
Okay, hey. Very interesting topic there. A lot of people into it.
Mm-hmm. That's your relatives coming down to pick you up for the weekend?
I was going to say, Mark said the mothership's coming for him tonight.
That's right.
So,
well, I'm on my way
just
back
saying.
to my home planet.
I believe, or at least I want to. A lot of people have drones and stuff nowadays, not to mention CGI.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need Eric's help for this. I'm not gonna do this by myself. On its own, and that's the chair that moves on its own. And I'm just tired, you know, there's absolutely nothing here this time. I've not seen anything. It's 9:46, and usually everything happens by this time, but nothing's going on. There was way more people than what's usually here today, so I kind of guess maybe that's what it is, and I'm just gonna call it a day. I'll start again tomorrow maybe, and we'll see what. Okay, so I'm the only one here right now, and the door just closed on its own. Okay, so I'm here by myself. All of these green lights means that there's no motion, right? Look in this room. What in the world is that? That is insane. I have never seen something like this. This is directly beside me in the next room. Did you see that? It disappeared. What in the world? Let's do it.
If I was in the same situation, I would have been left. I would have left and I would have never looked back. Alright everyone, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below which one was your favorite, and I'll have more for you soon. Bye! Hey everyone, if you like this type of content, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, as I will be posting multiple times a week under different genres. Liking, subscribing, and commenting will actually help other people see this and help me a lot. I have placed a whole bunch of links down in the description below, including the video shown, my Discord, other social media links, and side projects. Thank you all for all your support, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!